How's it going, everybody? Jake here for Dude Ranch DIY. Today was another very hot day here in Connecticut. The cooler weather was here, and it has since decided to go away. We had another mid-90s day here in southwestern Connecticut. So today we are not going to be doing any wood splitting or anything in the wood yard, but we are going to be doing something that I've been meaning to do for a while. I actually got some new camera, filming products, as well as some new products to help keep all of my equipment clean. So I'm going to be testing out both the camera equipment and these cleaning products to see how they do in this quick little video. So I got the keys to the international truck. We're going to go grab that, and that's going to be the first thing to get clean today. And if we have time, I'm hoping to get the tractor clean as well. Before I go down and grab the international truck, let me show you guys what I got here. So guys, like I said, I got a couple new things. The first thing is, after watching multiple videos on Outdoors with the Morgans, Mike Morgan finally convinced me to spend a little bit of money and buy myself a foam cannon. This is something that I kind of had my doubts about for the longest of times, but I figured for the $16 or $18 that I spent on it, we could give it a test. And then I went ahead and bought some of this Chemical Guys foam auto wash. So that's basically what today's video is going to be about, testing these things out. The next thing that I got as far as camera equipment and stuff goes for making all of these great videos, I got myself a new tripod. It's probably a couple months ago. I actually ran over my primary tripod with the tractor and it was bent and I was using it, but I finally said enough is enough. Let me get a new one. I also got myself a new holder for my iPhone, which is also one of my primary cameras. You really wouldn't believe the quality of the iPhone cameras. It's just so good, 4K. The camera I'm using now is my DJI Osmo action camera. And that brings me to the last thing that I got, which is actually holding the camera, but I got myself a gimbal. This is an action camera gimbal, and it basically helps hold the camera steady no matter where I'm kind of like moving it around. Now I'm still trying to figure it out and figure out all the different settings and stuff, but it is pretty cool. It comes with a little tripod here that I can screw into the bottom. There are a lot of different modes and everything, so it's going to take me a while to figure it out, but I think kind of getting the hang of it, I guess. It kind of like moves around and holds the camera steady no matter where I hold my hands, because I noticed in some of the videos the camera is definitely a little bit shaky when I'm walking around. So I wanted to improve my overall video quality and improve the cleanliness of my equipment. So I'm gonna go grab the power washer and the international truck, and we're gonna get to foam cannoning and trying this whole thing out. So here we go. All right, guys, so this is the soap that I got. Like I said, Chemical Guys Honeydew Snow Foam Auto Wash. That's pretty self-explanatory, beyond the fact that with a foam cannon, I believe you do need to use special like foaming soap. So we're gonna push that off to the side. This is the foam cannon I got, Tool Daily foam cannon. Again, I think it was like 16 or 18 bucks. Let's open this up and see what we got in here. So we got the bottle. Looks like power washer, like quick connect nozzles. Some instructions, tube, and a very small little like metal tool. Not sure what that's for. And then I guess the actual brass like nozzle thing itself. Okay, so I think it's pretty easy. It seems like the tube just gets pushed on this barb right there. Yeah, because I believe the foam just comes out of here. This little tool is to unclog if the foam cannon gets clogged up. You can go up in there and unclog it. So I guess this is definitely a good thing to hold on to. I'm gonna put it in a little bag here, and it says on both these instructions and the soap's instructions, it says add 1 to 2 ounces of the foam to this bottle and then fill up the rest with water. Okay, so all of my funnels were too big to actually fit in this thing. They're all for, like, you know, draining oil and filling diesel into the tractor and stuff. So I went and I got my measuring cup that I use for my pesticides and stuff when I'm measuring out stuff for the sprayer. So I am just going to pour in 2 ounces here. It's not going to be a hell of a lot. So that's, see, I couldn't even do 2 ounces. That's 3 ounces or 4 ounces. So maybe it'll be extra foamy. But we're going to take that, pour it in here. Now the soap was kind of expensive. I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I believe that gallon jug was like 23 or 26 bucks if memory serves me correctly. So not the cheapest stuff, but if we're only using 2 ounces of it at a time, you know, I'm gonna get like 60 something washes out of that, because I believe a gallon's what, 128 ounces. So that price actually isn't that bad when you think about it. All right, so we got it filled up. Now I'm assuming this goes in there like so. Screws on. I didn't realize that this was gonna have to go on the end of this long nozzle here, which is kind of a drag because I feel like it's gonna be kind of like heavy to hold up. But if this thing ends up working out well, I will have to get a new shorter gun. But that basically goes on like that, and I think we're pretty much ready to go. So, all right, guys. So I keep one of the power washers here in the little barn. It's right here. I actually found this guy at the dump. It had compression and didn't have any gas in it, but there was oil in it. Turns out the carburetor was clogged up, so I took the carburetor off, cleaned it all up, and it fires right up. So it's a good power washer. I'm glad I ended up taking it from the dump, and now I got myself a second power washer. Well, all right, guys, we got everything all hooked up here. We're ready to fire it up. Before we do that, I just wanted to show you what the truck kind of looks like here. I don't know if you could tell, but it's definitely all filthy, dirty, you know. It's got grime and stuff on it from being parked under the trees. It hasn't had a bath in probably like 2 months. We got some bird poop there, you know, sawdust, chip dust and everything. So we're gonna give it a good bath, see how this thing does. I'm pretty curious because, like, as you guys, if you watch Outdoors with the Morgans, Mike Morgan didn't even have to scrub. It just seems like the foam kind of did all the work. And it cleaned up his new old highboy truck pretty well. So I'm curious to see how this thing works on this old truck here. So here we go. Well, all right, guys, we got the truck sufficiently covered in foam here, as you can see. The thing worked pretty well. It took me just a couple seconds to figure out the adjustments on it as far as the spray, like the fan, or the angle of the spray, and then the amount of foam to water, like mixture. But once I figured that out, I got it pretty good. Now, I'm not really focusing on cleaning the bed of the truck here. I just wanted to kind of focus on the cab, see how that did, and then if it does work well, I'll probably end up taking the whole back, you know, like flatbed part off and doing the whole frame of the truck and everything back there. But it's mostly concerned I want to keep the paint nice. on all this fiberglass and metal of the cab. So we're gonna leave this on for a couple minutes and I guess let it kind of do its thing. All right guys, it's been a couple minutes since I applied the foam. I'm gonna fire back up the power washer and we'll rinse it off. I chose the 25-degree spray nozzle, so we'll see how that does. I don't want it too direct where it can mess up the paint or anything like that. Well, all right guys, all in all, I think that thing worked pretty well. The truck is much cleaner than it was. As you can see, it's starting to dry. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but it's starting to dry and it looks like it's pretty streak free. I just have the hood open because it was easier to rinse off all the soap this way so it all drained down instead of getting back all over the body of the truck. What dirt the foam cannon didn't just completely remove from the truck, it definitely loosened it up a bunch. I know this side's kind of in the shadow here, but there was a lot of dirt buildup on this hood, just being caked on there from this truck mostly gets driven on the weekends and for like firewood deliveries and stuff. So the dirt that was still remaining on there was pretty caked on, and when I went with the power washer and that 25-degree nozzle, it all just came off pretty easily. I just basically did a pass up and down, across the entire hood, and it all came off. You can see it's drying pretty nice there. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the foam cannon. This truck was always hard to wash just by using like a bucket with soap and stuff, because it's a lot of surface area, and by the time you would finish one side and you get to the other with the soap, at least that first side would be dry again, and then you'd basically have to do it in sections, break it into thirds, like one side, then the front hood, then the passenger side. Whereas with this foam cannon, it all stays wet and you can soap down the truck so much faster than doing it by hand, that you don't have to worry about it drying or anything like that. So I really like it. I think it will do really well with the tractor. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the International away. The tractor is filthy. Ever since I brush hogged back a couple weeks ago, it's just super dirty, dusty. It's not like really caked on dirt. I don't really drive it in the mud or anything. So the tractor just has like surface dust and dirt and stuff on it, probably some grease from all the grease fittings and everything. So I'm curious to see how the foam cannon does on that. So I'm gonna wrap the International up, get that back to where I park it, then I'm going to head up to the little shed, grab the tractor. I'll take the big tool rack off the back and we can foam cannon down the tractor and see how it does on that. So stay tuned. All right guys, now here's the tractor. As you can see, there are spots on it that are pretty dirty for sure. Hasn't gotten a bath in quite some time, mostly because I'm always using it, honestly, but the floorboards are pretty gross. Dash panel here is all dusty. I wipe that off pretty frequently with my hand or glove. Just kidding, I don't wear gloves. The back, like I said, is all dirty. I never got around to blowing it from brush hogging, so it's loaded up with just, looks like a mouse nest, honestly, but it's just loaded up with leaves and everything. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just spray this thing down just with water first, and try and get off all the big stuff, and then we'll hit it with the foam cannon. Well, all right guys, we got the Kubota all shined up. The foam cannon worked pretty well again. I think this time I didn't add enough soap to it. I don't know if you could tell in the video, but it wasn't quite as like of a thick foam as it was on the International. I think the key to getting that real thick foam is putting more soap than like the 2 ounces. When I mixed it initially for the International, I had like 4 ounces in there. And then I thought, because this tractor is much smaller than the International, I do about half that, so I did about 2, and I just think it came out a lot more like watery. But it seems to be doing pretty good. I mean, the water like is kind of beating up on the tractor. I don't think it's like a wax at all, but it definitely got it clean. Got the majority of the dust and stuff off, and again, like I use this thing almost every day. I'm not looking for show quality finish here, just to kind of like blow all the big dirt and stuff like that off. Also, by no means was I trying to get all the grease and stuff like you see there in the fittings off. I'm not. If you talk to anybody who, you know, buys or sells equipment, it's kind of a red flag to buy a piece of equipment that doesn't have, you know, some built up grease, at least in the spots where it should. So around these joints and everything, they're supposed to be greased up, supposed to be, you know, a little dirty. You don't want, you know, a ton of excess buildup. So I could definitely take a rag and, you know, wipe some of that off. But by no means was I expecting that foam wash to get any of that kind of stuff off, or like any of the stuff you see over there. That is a lot of built up grease from many hours, you know, of use, like you can see there. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this foam cannon. I'll show you guys the box here one more time. It was Tool Daily foam cannon, and I will put a link to this down in the description on Amazon. Let me know in the comments below, like right now, all of these shots that I've been doing, kind of moving, walking around and talking to the camera, I've been holding on this gimbal. So let me know if you see a difference, if it looks smoother, or if I need to keep playing around with it and figuring this thing out. There's a lot of different settings, like I said, so I think it's probably going to be the latter, but I'm hoping that these shots at least seem more smooth and less jerky and, you know, like shaking around. So let me know down in that comment section below. That's going to be it for this video. Gonna wrap it up. I smell Sarah cooking inside. I need to go fire up the big green egg, grill up some chicken for tonight's dinner. Gus and Louie are already inside, so that's my sign that I have to go inside. So as always, guys, if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. It'd help me and the channel out greatly. I really appreciate it. Questions, comments, or feedback on the foam cannon, or you know, if you have one of these foam cannons and you have some tips or tricks as to how I could improve, you know, the water to foam ratio, let me know, because I've never used one of these things before, and I think I could probably be doing a better job. So put that down in the comment section. But for now, I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.